A project I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I'm delighted to be starting it today, is transforming my little old work table here. Well, it's kind of a breakfast table as well. It's whatever kind of a table you want. Now, Mosaic is a very old form of craft. It's very beautiful and you can come up with great ideas. But again, today I'm just going to use the simplest technique. So the table is metal. It's been out for years. It's been painted on, glued on, and rust is taking its hold as well. Now, the biggest thing is we could talk for hours about the surface, and I think it's up to everybody. You can ask me questions, you can ask me advice, but what I did with this, because the rust is there and because there's holes in it and stuff, what I've done is I've made a wooden platform from some plywood and some 2x1 that was around the house, and so it gives the table a little bit more space. It makes a square. But as well, for the winter if you want, you can take it off and put it inside. So then for the mosaic tiles, now everybody has a few tiles around, but of course they're not all different colours or different designs. So what I did was I put the word out on Facebook, and I got a few tiles from different places, different people, and it was wonderful. It was a great response. And the great fun part is you're going to have to break them and use smaller pieces, which you can really get a bit of aggression out there. You can use tile cutters and stuff, but that's a whole nother level. This is just breaking tiles and sticking them down. So I'm going to use a very simple decoration. I'm not really going to, you can just colour them all in, but it is nice to have some sort of an idea in your head. So what I'm going to do is, just from corner to corner, I'm going to draw two lines, and that's your centre. And because I've basically blue and orange tiles, I'm going to have the outside as the sea and the inside roughly as the sun. Kind of an idea. And again, you don't want it too strict at the start because it's like colouring inside the lines. It's going to take a while to get into this. So I've now started breaking the tiles, and what I've done is I've selected a few pieces that I know I'm definitely going to use, like these corner ones here. And the best thing to do, I'm using PVA or Polybond or a good strong builder's glue. And you're just going to coat the other side. Plenty of glue. It will slip and slide as you put it on. That should stay. And as you can see, I've kind of picked out shards. Again, they're not going to be exact, but you won't see the line at the end. This is only a guideline to give you a rough idea of the shape. The tiles will dictate the design at the end, but nobody knows how you started off. That's always good to remember. So I'm going to work away on this. So I have the sun type design filled in, but you might find small little gaps in the tiles, and that's why I've kept these little shards, and they are shards. Tiles are basically ceramics, but the glaze on top uses the same ingredients as glass, so they are very, can be very dangerous. You just have to be very careful that you don't kind of slide your fingers or anything, because the top is like broken glass. And you can build up any little spaces that you see, and I'm going to move on now to the blues and whites. I've now started working on the outside with some blue and white tiles, and I also have these other tiles that somebody gave me. And I'm not going to break these, I'm just going to put them in the corners. There is a problem when tiles are of a slightly different height, because you're trying to get the grouting to run between them. Now it's okay once in a while, but if every tile was a slightly different height, it'd be very hard to get the grouting sorted. So I just put them at the edge here, halfway there now. So I've been working away and I've got all the tiles stuck down, and now it's time to go grouting, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So grouting comes in all different shapes and sizes. You can just buy grouting straight from the shop and make it up as it says in the tin. You can even buy wet grouting that you just pour over. But the grouting I have is white, and because the tiles are white, I'm going to slightly change the colour and darken it a little bit. Also, the white is fine for a bathroom, the white grout, but I find it can look like cosmetic teeth. So I'm going to put in some of the white grouting powder. So I'm going to try and make one batch, even if there's a lot of stuff left over. it's better than trying to make 2 batches the same colour. So what I'm also putting in is some outside filler, which will give it a much more grainier look. Again, you have your powder here. You want it basically the consistency of toothpaste, really, is there. And it's still not dark enough for me, so what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of acrylic. As you can see, it's basically just malleable consistency. Now, I'm just using a piece of cardboard. There's lots of different plastic things you can use. You just keep spreading it nicely across. And go over the tiles, just you can clean that off later. So you get it into all the nooks and crannies. So now we have it all covered in, and make sure you get into all those little grooves. Again, be very careful. I just have just a kitchen sponge here, a damp one. And as it's drying, you just very carefully, you're not digging, you're not washing the grout off. You're just bringing up the tiles. And you just start kind of very nicely, just start cleaning it down. There now, leave it dry away and just clean off any. So my table is finished and I really think it looks great. I'm delighted with the outcome and I really hope you try and do some mosaic yourself. I have a few other projects on mosaic that I'll be doing shortly, but I would like to show you something. It's a smaller mosaic. And I have been using it as a candle holder, so you can see the wax has darkened part of it. These tiles you can get in an art shop. I got these in Vibes and Scribes in Cork. You can also get those online. So it's much more malleable, and this is actually a floor tile that the person used. So these smaller tiles can even get you started. And they have a great selection of designs and colours and stuff. But you might want to be adventurous and start on a table like this. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making the video and the table. And please, again, thank you in advance for sharing on Facebook and on YouTube. And I look forward to my next project, which I think should be felting.